Welcome to this video where we're going to explore one of the fundamental concepts in network programming, implementing a server and client communicating via sockets in Python. If you've ever wondered how data is exchanged between devices over the internet or within a local network, then this topic is for you. Understanding socket communication is crucial for any aspiring software developer, network engineer, or cybersecurity enthusiast. In today's video, we'll take a step-by-step approach to explaining the basics of socket programming and demonstrate how to set up a simple server-client architecture using Python. We'll cover what sockets are, how they work, and walk through the process of establishing a connection between a client and a server. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of the concepts involved and be able to implement your own socket-based communication system. To start with, let's define what sockets are. A socket is essentially an endpoint for communication between two devices in a network. It's like a pipe through which data flows from one device to another. When you want to send data over the internet or within a local network, your device opens a socket and establishes a connection with a server. Now let's break down the process of establishing this connection. Well, the first step is for the client to create a socket object. This object will be used to connect to the server. On the other side, the server also creates a socket object, but binds it to a specific address and port number. Think of this as the server setting up a door on its IP address that clients can knock on. Once the server is listening for incoming connections, the client can initiate the connection using the socket object. The client provides the server's IP address and port number to establish the connection. When the connection is established, both the client and server have a socket endpoint they can use to send data back and forth. Now, let's discuss how this communication works in Python. In Python, we use the socket library to work with sockets. The socket function creates a new socket object. We then use methods like connect, bind, and listen to manage the connection process. On the server side, after binding the socket to an address and port, we start listening for incoming connections using the listen method. Once a client initiates a connection, the server accepts it with the accept method, which returns a new socket object that represents the established connection between the client and server. This is the point at which data can be sent back and forth. On the client side, we create a socket object and then use the connect method to initiate the connection with the server's IP address and port number. So what are the key points from this video that you should remember? 1. Sockets are endpoints for communication. They allow devices in a network to exchange data. 2. The connection process involves creating socket objects, binding them to addresses and ports, listening for incoming connections on the server side, and initiating the connection from the client side. 3. Python's socket library simplifies working with sockets by providing methods like connect, bind, listen, and accept. That wraps up our exploration of implementing a server and client communicating via sockets in Python. By now, you should have a solid grasp of the concepts involved in socket programming. Remember, understanding how data is exchanged between devices over networks is crucial for various fields and technology. If you found this video informative, give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel for more content on software development and network programming. If you have any questions or need clarification on any part of the process, please ask them in the comments below. We're here to help you learn. Don't forget, the next step is yours. Go ahead and implement your own socket-based communication system using Python.